Hi guys! Okay, so I'm just going to do this quick demo showing you how I use Clo and Browseware together. So if you already have your Clo file, you need to remember that whoever built this has already done all of the work for you in figuring out what pieces go where and what stitches to what. I know you guys don't have any Clo training, but something very quick that will help you is if you go into this little tiny sewing tool. It's a little sewing machine in your 2D window. So if I click on that, then I can click on stitches similar to Browseware. Sometimes it'll ask you to just click on which one you want, and they're all color coded. So you just need to choose one if you get the little window. Okay, so in Browseware, which is on the left side of my screen, I have made sure that all of my pieces are arranged already and everything is symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my stitch tool here and I'm going to copy exactly what they did in Clo. So I'm going into Clo and the first thing I'm going to look at is this pink stitch. I'm going to start from center front. So I have a pink stitch that goes from the middle to the first corner point. So I'm going to do the exact same thing in Browseware, middle to the corner point on both sides. Then in Clo, let's look at this next one. This burgundy one is this little triangle. So I'll do the exact same thing in my Browseware, the little triangle. Next is, here's the burgundy one again, this blue stitch. I have to pick the blue one. So it's basically, it looks like it's going from the top of the triangle to the middle of that section of the triangle to the opposite side of the yoke. So I'll do that. In my Browseware, I'm going to do a single stitch and then I'm just going to, you can either do match or you can click and drag it to the center. I think it's the center. I don't think it's matched because these are not the same length. You can see the length of the stitches in Clo, the little black numbers that appear next to your colored lines. Okay, so next one is this red one. Nope, okay, it's more orangey. All right, so that's that remaining length of that triangle up to the same side of the yoke. So we'll do that. Stopping at the corner points, and I'm going to click and drag in Browseware. I want to make sure that my two stitches that I just created meet, which I don't think they do. Okay, so now they're meeting. And the last stitch is the rest of the yoke to the last section where the last corner point is. Okay, so that's stitched, and now I just need to stitch. I separated these two pieces so that I could layer them easier. Again, this is not changing our pattern accuracy. It's still the same pattern, I just split it. So I need to stitch that. I'm going to stitch my my yoke. If you're confused about how it stitches, again, refer back to Clo. Okay, I'm just going to stitch it my own way because this isn't the part we're focusing on. Right. And since this is symmetrical, it's going to do it on both sides for me. I don't have to worry about anything. All right, I'm stitching this incorrectly because this is supposed to go to my back. Both of these pieces are supposed to go to my back. So I'll just delete both of these. I can flip it around, but then it's going to flip. I like how it's arranged right now. But maybe it's arranged incorrectly, so I'll flip it for easier stitching. All right, so this is the reason I just flipped that and it's crossed now is because I'm confusing myself. Okay, I'm going to stitch it the way that I had it before because this video is not for the yoke. It's just to demonstrate how to do the whatever it's called, the pleating. So just keep in mind this is incorrect, I believe. But again, it's doing it on both sides for me because I have it symmetrical. And again, check your Clo. If you're able to navigate Clo enough to just look at the stitching, double check your stitching with your Clo because it's going to make things a lot easier for you guys. Stitch. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is just stitch my arms, the top of my shoulders. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress these two separately because you see in Clo it's laying so nicely. So I'm going to take one side, the top, out of 3D for now, just so I can dress the bottom first. And I'm going to add some fold just to help it dressing. Regardless of if there's fold in Clo or not, they need different things. So I'm going to add fold. Okay, so we have -40 on there, and maybe I want +140 on here. Okay, let's see if that does anything. Okay, so I'm going to press dress. I can use my styling tool to speed it up. Notice that I have this little timer thing on, the little clock to dress faster. Okay, so I'm just kind of pulling it. It looks like something is wrong or something is colliding maybe. I'm not totally sure. So now I'll just let it dress without me pulling it. All right, I think the issue was just that I was pulling it. Okay, so we have one side dressed pretty nicely. Now we will finish dressing it because I guess it didn't finish. I'll press finish. I'm going to make sure auto lock is on. This is going to be super helpful for us when we dress the next piece because when we bring it back into 3D, everything else is going to lock. So our draping is not going to change on our other pieces. Again, since this is symmetrical, my folding happened on this side as well. So I'll just press dress and look at that double diagonal pleat. So I'll go into my styling, and if you click advanced, this little arrow, you can unlock these pieces just by clicking on the little lock button and dress again, and use that pinch tool if you want to style it a little bit more maybe. I didn't stitch that closed, so you would have to, and make sure you stitch your darts closed, but this is how we can do our fold. And make sure you save snapshots.